Hello, I'm Dr. Kenneth Goldberg, and I'm the author of The Homework Trap: How to Save the Sanity of Parents, Students, and Teachers. This is the third of a four-part series on implementing the homework trap. And this is the section in which we talk about your direct interactions with the teachers. In the last segment, I talked about what you can do at home, the most important thing being to set time-bound homework periods. Of course, you would like to work with the school so that your child is not penalized for what he cannot get done in those time-bound periods. And to accomplish this, there are three basic steps that you can take. The first step has to do with simply communicating clearly to the school that this is your decision and asking the teachers to work with you. By making this statement and making it again and again, without a lot of emotions, without any anger, but simply making it as a matter-of-fact discussion, you may find that change will occur. So that any time as the year proceeds and the teachers call you and say to you, Johnny didn't get his homework done, you can always come back with, okay, let's talk about it, because I would like to let you know that in the 30-minute period, say that's your time, that in the 30-minute period I saw Johnny working. Or you could say, I'm not surprised that he didn't get all of it done because he did have trouble getting things done in his 30-minute period. And I thought the reason he was having trouble was because, and then you give feedback about what you observed. But you keep repeating over and over again that 30 minutes, if that's the period of time that's been seems appropriate for your child at that child's age, you just keep going back over and over again to that as a matter of fact issue. And this will begin to create a context within which you and the teachers can have the further dialogue, as opposed to we're going to work longer to get it done. We're just going to get done what we can in the 30 minutes. The second thing you can do is to try to put this decision of yours into a 504 plan. Your child may be eligible for a 504 plan based on the presence of what I call under the radar learning disorders. And the thing about a 504 plan is they're very commonly used, but they're only as good as the content that people know. So a typical 504 plan will include more time. But more time in school has a different meaning than more time at home. Because more time in school is really redistributed time, whereas more time at home means working into the night. Or maybe getting an extra day to do the assignment without getting a penalty, but so what if your child's still getting more homework coming in day after day. So instituting it into the 504 plan is a second possible and important step. But the third step that's very important that I really want to emphasize in today's tape is the issue of educating teachers. You need to understand, and we all need to understand, that teachers are caring, committed people who chose a profession not because of the big bucks there are in teaching, but because they wanted to teach, and because they started their careers with very good intentions, and that in their hearts you're teachers. So your child's teachers want your child to do well. But the problem is that teacher education is practically absent of education in the theory and practice of homework. So you run into the problem of having teachers utilizing homework policies that they haven't really been trained for themselves. And for this, the question becomes, how do you educate a teacher without also stepping into a role of seeming like an audacious and cocky a parent who's trying to tell teachers what to do when it's their profession. And one of the reasons that I made the homework trap a small book, as opposed to writing a large book, which I could have written with much more detail, is that I thought it was more important for the book to be read than it was for it to be complete. And the book is really written in a way that one could reasonably hand the copy over to a teacher with the expectation that the book will get read. I happen to know of a very particular example of a parent who ended up buying about 6 or 7 copies of the Homework Trap and giving it to every teacher in that was affecting that a person's not a child but stepchild, and what ended up happening is this young man was a senior in high school, and he was at risk of dropping out and had absolutely no motivation to do any of his work. And she ended up giving, I think it was the principal, the guidance counselor, and each of the 5 major teachers a copy of the book, explained the need for homework reduction, and faced from the teachers and from the guidance counselor and from everybody complete negativity. They would not agree to what she asked them to do. And then, magically, they all did it. They all worked with the kid, and they all reduced the assignments, and the boy graduated. And the issue is that even though they may not have wanted to hear directly from what could have been perceived as a complaining parent, what they did want is that they're professionals who really want to do the right thing. And without access to information, they they had no basis to implement things. So even though she never got direct acknowledgement that that what she was asking was reasonable, they had information that they could then use. It's interesting because I'm a psychologist and I'm in private practice, and although I talk to a national audience through my blog and my website and my book, I also practice in my local community in New Jersey, and I can tell you that in every case, when someone calls me and complains to me about homework and they want to bring their child in so that I can get their child to do their homework, I will always advocate that they read my book and and buy books for their school, because it's cheaper than a session with me. I would rather that they bought a handful of books than pay $150 to see me for a session, which is going to do much less good than giving teachers the basis under which they can begin to make changes. So, so basically, those are the 3 components. One is announcing your decision, making it clear, and just repeating it without, without anger, recognizing it's a decision in your home, in your control. Number 2 is to look at the 504 procedure as a possible place to formalize the plan. And number 3 is look at how you can educate teachers into the model with full respect for the fact that they are professional teachers and they're not looking to you for education, but you want to get them information that they can have in their hands, so that when the time comes that you need to refer to it, you know that they have that information. Tomorrow we will talk. Tomorrow or the next time I record a message, we will talk about what can be done for the community at large.